Let's move to the employee area. Move to the main gate. Ugh. Outside Studio 1. If I examine the gate, can I open it? The entrance to Studio 1. This is the studio where they found Jack Hammer's body. Let's go in and check it out, Nick. I wonder if this card key we borrowed from the dressing room will work. It opened. All right, we're in. She's way too happy for someone visiting a crime scene. Oh, that would have been baby pictures of Powers. Ugh, we didn't need to see that. Inside Studio 1, those can stay a mystery. That outline tracing. What is it? You're real quiet all of a sudden. Doesn't it give you the shivers, Nick? That white tape, it's so real. Well, the evil magistrate did die here, and the steel samurai killed him. The murder weapon was the samurai spear. Sounds pretty real to me. Yowzers. Okay, let's start over here. Looks like a backdrop for a stage. It's supposed to be used in the Steel Samurai show. Of course, that's the mountain, Neo Fujiyama. Doesn't the Steel Samurai take place in old Tokyo? Can you even see Mount Fuji from there? Not old Tokyo, Nick. Neo old Tokyo. Oh, right. Vastly different. Wow, look at that camera. That must cost a ton. Yeah, so don't touch it. Whoa, it's heavier than I thought. Hey, you, no touching that. Yep. Sure. Sorry, my partner is kind of, you know. You know? No, I don't know. Who are you? Who, me? I'm an assistant here. I help with props and stuff, moving them around, ordering new ones, etc. We're lawyers representing Mr. Will Powers. Oh, you're WP's people. WP? Oh, Will Powers. WP, I get it. Oh, she's so smart. I don't envy you guys one bit, but do what you can for WP, okay? He'd never hurt a fly. He has to be innocent. Don't worry, leave it to us. I'd like to finish my examining. I mean, that's fair. Wow, look at that camera. That must cost a ton. Yeah, so don't touch it. Don't break it. Wouldn't you worry that it would kind of like kill the magic if you'd seen that it's probably not as... I don't know. I've been to like one TV show drop thing. It wasn't overly exciting, but maybe I just didn't have the same mystery as being younger when I saw it. Look, a ladder. That's a step ladder. Huh. So what's the difference? You need to stop judging things based on narrow-minded cultural assumptions, Nick. Right. Sorry. This girl is out there. Hey, look. That's the chair the director sits in. I've always wanted to sit in one of these. Hey, Nick. Take a look at that. One of those black and white boards they clap at the start of filming. And look, a megaphone. A real live megaphone. Ready, Nick? Action! This girl is more troubled than I thought. Because I've seen, what was it, Wisteria Lane, I think it was, from Desperate Housewives. That was interesting to see, but... What's this? It's for reflecting light. They call it a reflecting screen or something like that. The assistant holds it during filming. Huh. What? Where's your enthusiasm for all things entertainment? Well, lighting is fine, but I'd want to be the director, or maybe the Steel Samurai. I think she's being serious. Okay, I think we're done all the non-cool, important thing here, so... They outlined where Jack Hammer's body lay with tape. His body was found still inside the evil magistrate costume. I guess that's why the head part looks like a helmet. Funny, I expected a spear stabbing would leave at least a few bloodstains. I guess the costume must have absorbed most of it. Most of it or all of it? Ask for new. Oh, jeez, Louise. Day of the crime. Could you tell me anything about the day of the murder? Yes, it was. I was in the studio the whole day. I was the only assistant on staff that day, you see? Only one assistant? Yes, well, the studio isn't doing so well right now. And yesterday was only rehearsal for our action sequences. Oh, I see. Look, there's the security lady. Look at how in this she is. In the morning, we went through the action sequences in the employee area. WP and Hammer were there, along with everyone else. The employee area, that's where Power's dressing room is, right? Yes, that's the place. Look at how cool he is. After eating lunch there, Mr. Hammer went to Studio 1. Then I saw WP go into his dressing room. But I didn't see either of them after that. Ah, Will Powers. Did you know that Mr. Powers was sleeping in his room? No, I wouldn't go in there unless I had some urgent message for him. I mean, it's his private... What kind of girl do you think I am? I mean, maybe you're trying to get an acting career? Maybe you're trying to get a raise? Don't know. You tell me. What kind? No. I'm sure you're a fine girl. Sorry. So much for getting a confirmation of Powers' alibi. We'll stumble through that. What do we do, Nick? We haven't found anything. WP was the only one who came to the studio. Then he has to be the killer. They even have a photograph. Can we see this photograph? Sorry. I know you're busy. Not really. Actually, there's been something bothering me. Aha! That's what I'm talking about. A clue, a lead. Well, I don't know about that, but that day, just after noon, I sensed someone was here. You sensed? Yes, several times. Some other studio employees, maybe? No, I don't think so. The only thing we had scheduled was an action scene run-through. I was the only assistant here that day. I have a feeling it was someone from outside. Really? But wait, if someone had come in here, wouldn't that security lady have noticed them? Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, I don't have any better information than that. No, thanks. That helps us a lot. Anything helps. Let's go put that security lady on the spot. Like, how do you put the security lady on the spot? Going, the assistant sensed that there was someone else here. Just saying. So you sense that someone other than the regular film crew was in the studio. Yes, I think. I think doesn't cut it in a witness testimony. I don't even think I think cuts it for anything. Nick, what about that security lady? If someone else came into the studio, she must have seen them. Yeah, I got that, but I mean, that is some weak sauce. I sensed, I had an ominous feeling that someone didn't belong there. What? You're still here? Really? You look as though you've seen a ghost. I'd like to talk to you about an assistant's claim. What? I saw a suspicious look on your face. I want to ask you again about yesterday. You came here at 1 p.m., correct? And the estimated time of Hammer's death was 2:30. Are you sure that Powers was the only one to go through here between those times? Sure as can be. But we have a witness who thinks there was someone from outside here that day. Hello, Lady Hawk. How's it going? What? Are you absolutely sure you were here watching the whole time? Ma'am? Who was it? Who told you that? Who dares question me? Eek. All right, you better tell me and tell me quick, you spiky-haired creep. Someone's been complaining about the work I do, eh? We were just talking to the assistant in Studio One. Her? She's not even a full-time employee. All you youngins are like that nowadays, running your mouth, say this, that, whether, now, here's a thing or two, and off she goes. She left. Well, Nick, this is our chance to do what we can without her looking over our shoulders. I like to examine that computer. Computer that runs the studio security cameras. Nick, maybe we can see that photo of Powers with this computer. Yeah, maybe. Should I try the computer? Definitely. Okay, let's give it a try. You know how to work these things, Nick? Looks like I just have to enter in a few numbers. Let's see. First, I need the date of the murder. Looks like the camera turned on at 1 p.m. that day. 1. That was when the security lady arrived at the guard station. Please enter the number of the security camera. Did I jot down this? Oh, jeez Louise. ST1370. I think that's it. There, entered. Nothing happened. Huh, maybe I got the number wrong. Maybe we should go look at the camera again. No. Try the computer. Let's get a bunch of numbers. .307. There, entered. Hey, it printed out the data from that day. Let's see what we got. Come on, the costume doesn't even look like it fits them properly. Is that what you're still not uncommon? Yeah, that's fair. You could look at it that way, or you look at that almost every business company I've worked for almost never puts money into computers and stuff. In my last job, the computers were still running Windows XP. It's like, good lordy, can you guys update these things? Huh. How is this a picture of Will Powers? Well, he is the one who always wears that suit. I guess that's why the security lady thought it was him. I don't imagine the detective was very happy with this photo as evidence. Something's printed on the back. Huh, October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2. What does that mean? Maybe there's more photo data from that day? Nope, that's the only one in the computer. Powers photo out of the court record. Like, this doesn't even fit. Look at how grossly out that is. Hey, Nick. Can't we use this photo as evidence for that trial? Yeah. We'll put that security lady in her place with this. Right, put her in her place. Hey, that's what I said. Anyway, let's show her this photo and see what she says. Wait, let's not. Why not? It's never a good idea to reveal your hand to the enemy too soon. Nick, you're craftier than I gave you credit for. Why, you could be the next evil magistrate. Hey, why do I have to be the villain? Relax, it was just a joke. So are we done for today? I think this photo is what we needed for the trial. Still, it'd be better if we had some idea who the real killer was. Hey, it really is that security lady. To be continued. Yes, we will save our progress. October 18th, 10 a.m. It's today's date. Freaky. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. The prosecution will show the court that at 2:30 p.m. on October 15th, the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, killed fellow actor Jack Hammer in Studio One of Global Studios. It is impossible for anyone else to have committed this heinous crime. The evidence presented during the trial will all point to this fact. I see. Very well. I would like to move on to some testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, the prosecution may call its first witness. Very well. I call a most familiar face, Detective Gumshoe, to the stand. Oh, this detective. Detective, if you would briefly describe this case to the court. Yes, sir. I'll explain with the guide map here. To understand this case, it's important to grasp the layout of the studio, see? This here is the employee area. The actors did a run-through of their action scenes during the morning here. It's the main gate to the studios. A security lady that works at the studios was here at 1 p.m. on that day. Past the security station there is a gate, see? Past that are the studios. And here it is, Studio 1. This is the scene of the murder where the body was found. Now, on the day of the murder, October 15th, there were only 3 people here. The victim, Jack Hammer, the defendant, Will Powers, and a young woman, the production assistant. All the production staff were in the employee area until noon. Oh, look at that. Look at that smooth action. Then, after lunch, the victim, Jack Hammer, went to Studio 1. Right after that, at 1 p.m., the security lady got to the guard station. Now jump ahead to later that day, 5 p.m. The production staff came to Studio 1 to perform a rehearsal. Needless to say, the rehearsal was canceled. Time of death was 2:30 p.m. The samurai spear found lodged in the victim's chest was the murder weapon. That's the case in brief. Anyone like to hear that again? Should I listen to the whole thing again? No, skip it. I think I can probably remember that. So the murder weapon was a spear? How medieval. Samurai spear added to the court record. This spear was found stuck in the chest of the victim. I know, right? In a stupidly solid hole right where the spear went in. Just like nothing in there. Your Honor, this case is quite simple if you ask one question. And that question is, what did the security lady at the guard station see? Understood. Let's call the security officer to the stand. Will the witness declare her name? Well, I'd like a name size old bag. Whoa, Cape. My, aren't you a handsome fellow? I'm afraid I'm a bit flustered. Your name, please. Oh, dearie, no need for you to be embarrassed. Just call me Grandma. Your name, please. Seems Edgeworth has a bit of trouble getting his witnesses to say their names. Wendy Oldbag, dearie. Wendy Oldbag. Nice. So just call me Grandma. So when I was young, I was Oldbag, but not really. Still has children with consent. Believe it, but there was this boy I kept in engineering class called Oldbag. Well, oh my goodness. Objection! I object to the witness's talkativeness. Objection sustained. The witness will refrain from rambling on the stand. I was just getting to the good part, dearie. Perhaps we can get to the testimony. Now the witness was stationed at the main gate on the day of the murder, correct? Yes, say I was. And to get to the scene of the murder, someone would have to pass by you. You know your stuff, dearie. You may begin your testimony. Sure is one hell of an old bag. All right, here we go. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Poor old Hammer and the rest had been doing a run-through there since the morning. I had some errands to run that morning. Anyway, it was 1 when I got to the guard station. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Now, the murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Interesting to me because a certain man walked right by me at 2 p.m. It was Powers. That man right there, and he was heading towards the studio. You saw the defendant then? Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I love this. They're basing this all on a photo, and that no one else in this world could have gotten in there and passed a security camera. Impossible. Okay, we're gonna press on this one. A run through. They were working out a scene between the Steel Samurai and the evil magistrate. They got the basics figured out by noon and were to use the afternoon for practice. Rehearsal was supposed to start at 5. That's why poor old Hammer went to Studio 1 in the afternoon. His Powers was in his dressing room sleeping when he was supposed to be practicing. Talk about a laid-back hero. There was a run-through in the morning. Why did you only get there afternoon? Had some errands to run that morning. Let's press that. What were you doing? What kind of errands? Oh, well, you know. Answer the question. Actually, I was watching poor Hammer and Powers observing, you know. Observing? Weren't you supposed to be at the guard station? Whippersnapper, I told you I locked the gate, didn't I? I did my job. I'm not sure your boss would see it that way. Anyway, I always watch Hammer's run-throughs. Always. Never missed one in all my years. Wow, I want to see a Steel Samurai run-through too. You quit being a spirit medium and take up guard duty. Not a bad idea. There's one when I got to the guard station. We'll press that. Why not? Did you see the victim then? Did I see the poor old Hammer? No. He'd already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station. Tell us what happened next. I was at the main gate from then until 5. Press. So you're watching there the whole time. No breaks, not even a second. Of course. I'm a professional, you know. Or are you criticizing how I do my job, whippersnapper? No, it's just after seeing you eating those donuts at the guard station yesterday. I can watch the gate and eat donuts at the same time. Snipper whapper? Snipper whapper? Oh, Windbag is losing it, Nick. Why don't you raise an objection? So the witness was on duty through the afternoon the whole time. Very well. What did you see? Murder happened at 2:30 p.m., right? Well, I'm just checking. Yep. You're not wrong. It's just me because... Press. 2 o'clock. You're sure? Sure as spit. Well, who was the man? Really, you should try not to get so excited at your age. You might strain something. Yep, there it is. You strained something. Now, don't get your skeevies all in a bunch. I'll tell you who it was. It was Powers, that man right there, and he was heading towards the studio. Let's press that. So you saw Mr. Powers. That's what I said. Got a wax in your ears, Sonny? Nick, this is your chance. Yeah, time to pull out the secret weapon. I'll say it again, it was him. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I swear gets overlooked in this. Photo time. Wha-jam! Let me get this straight, old bag. Miss Old Bag. You've been saying since yesterday that you saw Mr. Powers, correct? But you're talking about the man in this photo, aren't you? Just a moment, Mr. Wright. Let me see that photo. Anyone gonna miss? What is this exactly? None other than the Steel Samurai, defender of the old Tokyo. Miss Old Bag. Is this the Mr. Powers that you saw? Of course. Didn't your mama teach you any sense, Sonny? Anyone can plainly see that's Powers, right? No, they can't. Well, I mean, I wonder. True, Mr. Powers does play the role of the Steel Samurai. But that doesn't mean Mr. Powers is the Steel Samurai. Nailed it. I know that. I wasn't born yesterday.
No one in this court is accusing you of that, witness.
He's having trouble calling her old bag, apparently.
However, you do not have proof that the person in this photo is Mr. Will Powers, do you?
Huh, nosy old man. Of course I have proof. What? Huh? Even Edgeworth is surprised? The prosecution would like to ask the witness, please make known all the information in your possession ahead of time.
How was I to know everyone would be so nosy? You should be ashamed, all of you. Anyway, I showed that photos to the young detective. He told me this isn't any good. This isn't any good as evidence, pal. Didn't even give it a second look.
Wow, old Wingbag has left even Edgeworth speechless. She's good. Wait. A blue button on his suit? You mean like closing his jacket? Or do you mean like the button that's up like here? The little...
Let's hear about your proof then.
Here we go.
I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. That morning during the run-through of the action scene, I saw Powers trip and fall. He broke one of the props. It was a big mess. Apparently he sprained his ankle pretty bad. Now look at that picture. You can see he's dragging his legs, see? Clear as day. That's how I knew it was Powers. Happy? So he had sprained his ankle. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
She's gotta be hiding something. I'll press her until she squeals. I never say anything I don't mean, mind you. Should press that. Press that. Trip and fall.
Yes, and to think, he's supposed to be the Steel Samurai. What a laugh. So Powers sprained his ankle. I helped make it better for him, of course. You helped make it better? I kissed it where it hurt. Ugh. Let's just skip over that part, shall we?
Where was the assistant then?
Oh, her? She was cleaning up backdrops, I think. She didn't know about Powers' ankle.
You may continue your testimony. Not sure. Broke one of the props. Press that. What prop? He broke a prop?
Sure did. His own samurai spear.
So he broke the spear that he's apparently killed them. Jeez, the samurai spear. The murder weapon.
Luckily, I was there with my duct tape to fix it.
Strikes me as a significant detail. I better write this down in the court record. Samurai sword updated. A break in the shaft has been mended with duct tape. Alright, sounds good. Thanks for stopping by. You have a fantastic day. Apparently sprained his ankle pretty bad. Let's press on that. Was Mr. Powers' ankle badly sprained?
Not so bad that he couldn't walk around. He went to his dressing room to rest up after lunch.
Thus the nap.
Anyway, I saw him dragging his foot when he walked.
Dragging his foot, okay. I think we've heard enough, haven't we, Your Honor?
Well, there is one thing that bothers me.
Which is?
Where is the Steel Samurai costume now?
Actually, well, we couldn't find it. We're looking, though. Anyway, that's not important. The witness did see the Steel Samurai, yes? And it is clear that the person in the Steel Samurai suit was Mr. Will Powers.
I suppose that's right.
Are you sure you're sure, Your Honor?
Object.
Hold it right there. We keep talking possibilities, but we have to agree that this photo shows the Steel Samurai. Nowhere in these photos can we see Mr. Will Powers.
The defense has a point. I also wonder if someone else not caught on camera could have killed Mr. Hammer. We have to consider that possibility also.
Then allow me to remove the doubt from your mind, Your Honor. Will the witness continue her testimony, please?
No need to ask twice.
This count continued.
time of poor Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m., true? The only person I saw go to the studio before then was Will Powers. No one else went there. If they had, I would have seen them. So if no one else went to the studio, then it would have to be the Steel Samurai who did it. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Press that. How do you know that?
Didn't I just explain? I gave donuts to the young detective, and then, after some rubbish about it being a secret pal, he told me everything.
See, Detective Gumshoe shares his fellow officers' fondness for donuts. Are you absolutely sure?
Oh, quite, Sonny. Nobody suspicious looking passed by at all.
Nobody suspicious looking? Right. What about before you got to the guard station?
You mean before what? Why, everyone was in the ploy area before then. And I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Not to mention...
If they had, I would have seen them.
Are you sure?
The witnesses answered the question. Anyone going into the studio had to pass by the witness.
That's right, Sonny. You let him have it, edgy boy.
Edgy boy? Old Windbag sure has balls, or, well, you know what I mean. Old Windbags have a way of skipping over important details, after all. Or, for that matter, entirely forgetting them. How convenient. Something for you to look forward to, perhaps. Okay, what do we got? Can I present this against that? Hold on. Look at this photograph one more time. This photo was taken by the camera at the gate for the studios, correct?
Yes, sirree, Sonny.
So whenever anyone passes by here, it automatically takes a picture.
And here I thought you didn't know your head from a hole in the ground.
Right. Anyway, it's also true that the computer in the guard station records all security cam data.
Oh, you know, if you wanted to work at the studio, we might have an opening.
That very computer printed out this photo. Note that on the back of this photo are printed the words October 15th, 2 p.m., photo number 2.
Even I know that means it was taken at 2 p.m. on October the 15th. Really, Sonny.
Actually, I knew that too. The issue here is the bit at the end where it says photo number 2.
Photo number 2?
The computer only held data for one photo on that day. Don't you think that's odd? Shouldn't this photo be photo number 1, if it really was the only photo?
Order, order! Please tell the court what you mean by this, Mr. Wright.
Actually, that's what I want to ask the witness. This evidence shows that not one, but 2 people went to the studio that day, yet there's only data for one of the photos. Who could have erased the data for the other photo? Only someone with access, the security lady herself.
You watch your mouth, whippersnapper. The only person I saw that day was Will Powers.
But the camera on the gate fired twice. That means 2 people went by.
Well, yes, that's what it would seem to mean.
Can the witness explain this to the court?
I don't understand these newfangled computer things. Edgy boy, help?
Huh? Believe me, I want to, but I don't know what this means either.
Some help you are. You're a whippersnapper too.
Whippersnapper.
Something the matter, Miss Oldbag? That's right. I just remembered something. Let me guess. Someone else passed by the gate. Someone other than the Steel Samurai. Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way.
It's convenient.
I see. Your testimony, please.
The other person.
Every day after I finish my guard duties, I have one other important job to do. I go through the photos recorded on the security computer and check them. I throw out any photos that aren't suspicious looking, you see. Come to think of it now, I remember throwing out one photo that day. Miss Oldbeck, this is the first I've heard of this. Well, of course, Sonny. I've only just remembered it. Right. Anyway, Mr. Wright, please begin the cross-examination.
Well, I'd say this was a turn for the unexpected, but I kind of expected this. The other person. Other photos recorded in the security. Check that. Press that. A footage, though.
Well, who in the heck was in that photo you erased? A fanboy.
Fanboy.
Steel Samurai fanboys, real freaks if you ask me. They get information about the rehearsals from gosh knows where. They're always hanging about what was there that day.
Wait a second. Did you just say no one else could get in?
I locked the main gate so no one could get in. Those were your words. Well, if you must know, there's a drain that goes into the employee area. The grate has been loose for a while. It leads outside, and well, that's where they come in. They come in through the drain. I told you they were freaks. Oh, and they're kids, children, whippersnappers.
Kids.
So on the photo that you erased, it was a boy, probably 2nd or 3rd grade. What? Order! Order! Let me get this straight. You saw 2 people pass by the gate on their way to the studios that day. One was the Steel Samurai dragging his leg. The other was a boy who looked to be in about 2nd or 3rd grade. Oh yes, well, we see his type there every day. Can't stop him, can't catch him.
A boy in 2nd or 3rd grade. I see it would be hard, if not impossible, for a young boy to wield the samurai spear.
Impossible, I'd think. It's quite heavy. Right, as I said, I didn't pay him much mind. That's why I erased the data.
Nick, what's going on? I mean, the boy was there, that makes him a suspect.
Yeah, and they're already trying to unsuspect him. This court will take a 5-minute recess. I want the defense and the prosecution to consider this new information. And no forgetting vital information this time.
October 18th, 11:08 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3.
Mr. Powers. Yes?
Tell me straight, were you really in your dressing room? You didn't go to the studio.
I didn't go to the studio. I was sleeping, honest.
So who was the Steel Samurai in that security photo?
How should I know? Steel Samurai costume was off in the corner of the dressing room. Anyone could have walked in and taken it, really.
What? You should take better care of that stuff.
I couldn't imagine anyone who'd want to steal a Steel Samurai costume. So, where does this leave me?
Doesn't look good. You're the only likely suspect right now. Nick, what are we going to do? First, we play for more time. We'll start targeting someone else that could conceivably have done this. Right. And it'll take them so long to shoot us down that we can get another day. Right. But if we pick the wrong person, we might lose on the spot.
You don't sound very optimistic.
Not optimistic at all, actually. Hey, Nick, it's time. Okay, let's go. Ugh.
What does that mean?
Please don't sigh like that. It means I'm probably gonna have to...
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. Mr. Edgeworth, will you present the prosecution's thoughts on this matter?
The prosecution's thoughts are simple. Nothing has changed. The other person who went through the studios was a boy of roughly 10 years of age. The photo we do have may not be hard evidence. But there's still no one else that could have committed this crime. I call for a verdict of guilty for the defendant, Mr. Will Powers.
Very well. Mr. Wright, your thoughts?
The defense disagrees with the prosecution's claim. There is another person who could have committed this crime.
Okay. Order. Interesting. Let us hear who you have in mind. However, Be aware that this court does not look kindly on accusing the innocent. If you accuse someone who is obviously innocent, you will be penalized.
Right. Great. As if the stakes weren't high enough.
So, who was this person other than Mr. Powers that could have committed the murder?
Oh. I mean, you could select the grade school boy, which seems to be the obvious one that they want you to go for. I mean, could say the security lady since she deleted information. The assistant girl could be an... security lady. Check her under. It was the security lady, Wendy Oldbag.
Who?
The Steel Samurai is dragging his leg in this picture. That means whoever was in the suit knew about that morning's injury. Maybe because they had been watching the action scene run through. There was only one person other than Powers and Hammer who knew about the injury. The security lady, Oldbag.
What? Whippersnapper? Order, order. Is this true, Oldbag? Oldbag? That's Miss Oldbag to you.
Miss Oldbag was standing guard alone at the main gate. She was by herself. In other words, she has no alibi. She could have briefly left her post to steal the Steel Samurai costume. Then slipped into Studio 1, the scene of the murder.
Why would she go through the trouble of wearing the Steel Samurai costume?
Simple, Your Honor. She knew the camera at the gate would take her picture. If she was in his costume, she could point the finger at Mr. Powers.
I see. Excellent deductive reasoning, Mr. Wright.
Oh yeah, right here. Sherlock Holmes 2, baby. That's odd. Isn't this the part where Edgeworth pounces? Doesn't he usually jump up with an objection and some new damning evidence?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, does the prosecution have an opinion on this matter?
Prosecution has no meaningful objections at this time.
What? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, so y'all think I did it, is that it? Edgy boy, don't just sit there, do something.
What's my move? Maybe now's my chance to take this the whole way. Give Granny a break or press further. See, I don't... do I think Granny did it? We'll press further. Very same reasoning that makes Mr. Powers suspect in this case can be used to cast doubt on Miss Oldbag's actions on that day.
But why would I do something so horrible to poor Hammer?
You forgot that Mr. Powers lacks a clear motive too.
Indeed.
That did it. Now Windbag is one of the suspects. No hard feelings, I hope.
Wait just a minute. What about the other person who went to the studio? The boy. The one whose photo I erased. He's only a grade schooler, though. As you said, second or third grade, was it? It doesn't matter. When I was that age, I could pin my old man in 10 seconds tops.
Your thoughts, Mr. Wright? The boy is not the killer.
What? How can you be so sure? Or is it be nice to the kids and mean to your elders day, whippersnapper?
I have proof.
Proof?
Indeed. Then let's see this proof, Mr. Wright. You have proof that shows the boy could not have committed this murder? I do? Yes, the card key. You'd have to be an employee to get into the studio. Scene of the murder, as we all know, was Studio 1. However, you need a card key to enter Studio 1. How could a boy with no formal relation to the studios have a card key?
I see. Well, would the witness care to comment on this?
The Windbag, speechless. This has got to be a first.
Very well. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today.
Mr. Edgeworth, please find out more about your witness, Miss Windy. What was her name? Something old bag, Your Honor. Then the prosecution will look further into this old bag before we continue. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Wait a second. I'm not going to just sit here while you run off barking up the wrong tree. Me, I'm talking.
Oh, great. Stop the presses. The windbag wants to talk.
Miss Oldbag, what is this all about? Have you omitted something from your testimony?
Actually,
You must know, there's something I was told not to talk about.
talk about? By whom? Huh. You mean it wasn't Edgeworth who told her not to talk? That's a first.
Well, testify.
My lips were sealed. Oh, jeez, Louise, Granny.
Global Studios wanted me to keep quiet about something. There were some other people at the studios on the day of the murder. They said they had nothing to do with it, see? So they told me to just pretend they hadn't been at the studios that day. But if you're going to go accusing me, I'm not letting them get away scot-free. Miss Oldbag. This is crucial information. Why did you keep this from the court until now? Ain't you been listening? They told me to shut my trap, and I always do what I'm told.
No, this isn't a bad dream, Your Honor. Witness the power of the old bag.
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination.
Jeez, we're just basically gonna have to rip this whole thing apart. Those two just wanted me to keep quiet about something. Press. So you were told not to talk.
Yeah, that's right, by the studio, and the TV bigwigs, no less.
Why didn't I hear about this?
Don't be too hard on yourself, Sonny. We're all in on it.
I almost feel bad for Edgeworth here. Nothing's gonna be worse when you're like a lawyer and your witness doesn't tell you stuff, like important stuff. There were some other people in the studio on the day of the murder. Hold it! Who were these people?
Well, the director and the producer, for starters.
The director. Should have known something was fishy. How could they have done a run-through of their action scene without a director? Of course.
Yes, well, I was surprised no one asked about it.
So, where were these people?
The director was in the employee area all morning for the run-through. He joined the producer around lunchtime, and they had a meeting after that.
Where?
Oh, in the Studio 2 trailer.
Studio 2? There was a Studio 2? Yes, it was blocked off with a path, man. You know that.
Well, if you look at the guide map, here it is. You go through the gate and all the way to the left.
The path where the monkey's head had fallen over.
Well, Mr. Wright, would you like to continue the cross-examination?
I think I've already asked all my questions, but... continue it. Let's press on that.
Miss Oldbag, this is a trial for murder. I know that's silly. Still, they were pretty convincing about having nothing to do with it, and they gave me a little bonus on the side.
So you got your bonus, and you still talked. I think I've asked all the questions I have to ask. Yeah, we'll take a break. Your Honor, we have learned there were others at Global Studios on the day in question. The director and the producer and, some bigwigs were all present. Yet, as we stand here, they have not been questioned. I hold that it is impossible to declare a verdict on the defendant, Mr. Powers.
The court acknowledges the defense's point. The prosecution will gather more information about the witness, Miss Oldbag, and more information about these other people we have just been told of.
Poor Edgeworth.
I understand, Your Honor. This ends the day's proceedings in the trial of Mr. Will Powers. That is all. This court is adjourned. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. I was right to ask you to defend me.
Oh, really? It's nothing. Or should I say, we'll be going down to the studios to do some more investigating. We have to find out more about this director and producer. They'll be turning up at the next trial as witnesses for certain. So now's my chance to get material for the cross-examination. So, Nick, have we figured out just who it was in that steel samurai costume? Could it really have been old Windbag? What do you think, Mr. Powers?
I don't think it was her, really.
Neither do I, Nick.
Yeah, well, I just sort of checked her last. Yeah, I know. Look, I was just buying time back there. Someone had to be the bad guy for a bit to take the pressure off Mr. Powers.
Poor old Windbag. I feel kind of sorry for her.
Well, she wasn't winning any points in there, with or without my accusation. Okay, let's get down to the studios.
Right. We'll be back to visit you soon.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
To be continued. We would like to save our progress. October 18th, Wright & Co. Law Offices. Whew, what a day. This is no time for relaxing, Nix. So you think WP's got a chance?
I guess that really depends on the people we found out about in today's trial.
The director and producer?
Yeah, them.
Well, what are we doing here then? Let's get to the studios.
Want to talk? What to do? What do you think we should do?
What do I? Huh. Why don't we do what you just said? We gotta get the scoop on this director and producer.
Oh, right. Then there's no point hanging out here.
That's what I've been saying. Let's get to those studios pronto.
Any ideas?
We don't have enough information to make a case yet.
That's exactly the same thing you said yesterday. Just a minute, you don't have a clue what happened.
There's not enough information. Ha ha ha.
So, main gate.
No one's here.
Right now that they have Miss Oldbag in custody. I guess they don't have anyone else to replace her.
Hey, in the guard station, look, she left her donuts. What? I wasn't going to eat them.
Security guard station. Miss Oldbag must like junk food. There's a mountain of it in here. Computer that runs studio security cameras. Huh. Looks like it's been turned off for the day. Overhead map of the studios. Right from here is the employee area. To the left is the actual film studios. Looks like a studio van. They'll probably use it to carry around film equipment. Main entrance to the studios. They probably have a police officer on patrol out there. Okay, so move. You know, let's go to the employee area.
Look, it's that assistant girl. Hey.
Hi. WP's lawyers, right? I heard about the trial. Great job, guys. Oh? Oh ho ho. Don't mention it.
Is it true they caught the security lady?
Oh ho ho ho.
Actually, she just called me. She told me to cover up that drain.
You mean that one?
Wow, what a mess. I know. I'm not so good with handiwork. Some assistant, right? Yeah, but you do work on the props and the backdrops, right?
Right. Just lots of times they end up looking worse than they did before I fixed them.
Oh, well, I'm sure these things happen. Nothing to worry yourself about.
You're right. I won't. Personally, I think she should worry at least a little bit more.
Excuse me, I have to go to the guard station.
I'm supposed to fill in for Miss Oldbag.
Right, see you later then. Good luck with your investigation.
Look at that patch job.
So the fanboy they were talking about in the trial today, he came in through that drain?
So it seems. I guess they covered it up in a hurry.
Hey, Nick. If that drain's covered, the boy won't be able to get in.
Yeah, I think that was the idea.
I feel kind of sorry for him, though. Don't you?
What? You want to rip the grate off?
Really, Nick? We can?
Whoa, she's serious? Uh-oh. Rip it open. Well, I guess some things are just made to be broken.
Yay. You know, Nick, you're pretty swell sometimes.
Sometimes.
Hi-ya. There. That should make the kids happy. The things we do.
The drink rate is off, and I know who did it.
Now the kids will be able to come in again. Doesn't it make you feel great to do a good deed like that? Must be nice to live so free of guilt. The grate that used to cover the drain. It's a little bent. I don't think it would fit if I tried to put it back. There's a half-finished backdrop for a stage here. Looks like a castle, probably near Old Tokyo Castle. There's nothing really fancy going on here. Looks like one of those electric-powered bicycles. Don't know what's the point. It's easy to go up hills. Gonna go and see if we can find some new information. It doesn't look like we're really bumping into new information here. Sign off the dressing room door. Will Powers, it must be neat to be the star. Have your own room. This is where the steel samurai costume was on the day of the murder. That's what Mr. Powers says, at least. I guess they snuck in and took it while he was sleeping. But Nick, what if Mr. Powers hadn't been sleeping? I wonder what the killer was planning on doing then. Huh. Just got a point. Looks like someone was sleeping here. It's locked. Guess he doesn't open the windows much. There's some regular suits in among the costumes here. This is Mr. Powers' personal clothes. A bunch of snacks on the table. Some teas and cookies. Wait, Nick! What now? These snacks, they're past the expiration date. Then don't eat them? They're snacks. They're meant to be eaten. Mr. Powers' bag. I wonder what's inside. Hey, supermarket tabloids? Wow, I'm kind of shocked. Maya, leave those alone. Wolfmen found in bars? I'll have to buy that issue. There's an array of cosmetics here. According to Maya, that wig was used in some old TV show. Samurai Boogie Boogie, Nick. Get with the picture. Look, explain to me how you can identify a show just by seeing a wig. I kinda like samurai movies. Kinda? Oh no, there's a... There's a new one right there. They always have mirrors like this in dressing rooms. I see my hair is all spiky speed. Okay. Oh, hello. Ho ho, you look a little out of place. It's the clothes, isn't it? I thought my camo vest might do the trick. Kind of an alternative guard fashion thing. Studios. So how are the studios doing? There's police wandering around everywhere. It's terrible. They won't even let me clean up. Don't want me disturbing evidence. I haven't even cleaned up our lunch plates from the day of the murder. You mean those plates with the steak bones left over on them in the employee area? Yeah, can you believe it? Fanboy. Do kids sneak in here a lot? Well, I don't think there's that many of them, but I do see one in particular a bunch. He's always gawking at the sets or snapping pictures. You see old Windbag's eyes flash when she sees him. She has a bit of trouble catching him, though. Victor, I heard something at the trial today. They said that the director and producer were here the day of the murder. Oh, sorry. I was in the prop storage room, so I didn't see them. I guess they were here, though. The studio heads seemed pretty eager to keep us quiet. So they were trying to protect the director. More the producer, really. The producer's our real star here. She saved these studios from the brink of disaster and kept them running. I don't think we'd still be in business if it weren't for the producer. The producer, huh? I present to you this broken spear. Say, you work with the props, right? About that murder weapon. You mean the samurai spear? Yeah, it's a prop, but it's still pretty heavy. I hate having to carry that thing around. So you'd have to be pretty strong to use that as a weapon, sounds like. Why is Mr. Powers the only person I can think of? I don't think there's... Security guard station. I can see the computer that runs security cameras. Oh, please don't touch anything in there. The security lady would knock the stuffing out of me if she knew. Okay, so I was hoping that she was gonna give me some information to work with there. on that spear if she had fixed it or something. Apparently not. Hey, Nick. It looks like Detective Gumshoe isn't here today. You're right. He's probably up to his neck in paperwork after the commotion at today's trial. So, Nick, remember that Studio 2 we heard about at the trial today? It was down that path with the fallen tree, right? Yeah, I think that's what they said. Maybe the director and the rest of them are here today. Now's our chance, Nick. Let's check it out. There's probably nothing new to this examine, but we'll have a look. The studio mascot. Apparently it's Monkey of some kind. Well, they put his head back on. Maybe we should ask that assistant. I'm not sure we really want her fixing anything. And you probably need a crane to move that thing. Probably so. I'm bushed. Maybe I'll sit down here for a bit. This is exactly why I don't want to get old, ever. Hey, I'm still young. I'm just tired. Nick, when you start having to say, I'm still young, you know it's all over. But I am still young. Like 24. That's a security camera that automatically takes pictures of people here. It took 2 pictures on the day of the murder before the actual time of death. One of them was the Steel Samurai. The other was a grade school boy. It doesn't seem to be switched on today. Doesn't seem to be switched on, eh? Nope. There. In the trial, they said Studio 2 was down this path. The monkey head is in the way, but we should be able to get by without a problem. This monkey head is really heavy. Well, it did knock that tree over when it fell. Both of these, the monkey head and the tree, fell the day of the murder, didn't they? Yeah, that's what Detective Gumshoe said. But, I mean, really, do we trust anything that guy says? Outside Studio 2. Studio 2 entrance. This place is deserted. Crash. Eek! Nick, what was that noise? Sounded like it came from inside the trailer. Someone must be inside. Hello? No answer. Pretty suspicious if you ask me, Nick. Let's go in. I'm not sure we should be barging in. Huh? It's locked. What? Don't we have a key? No, but there's probably one in the guard station at the main gate. Then what are we waiting for? Let's borrow it. If they'll let us. Come on, we'll examine stuff. There's some flowers here. Wow, so pretty. They're taking good care of these. Don't get too close. That fence looks dangerous. That fence also looks damaged. Closer inspection, this trailer looks like it's been here for a while. I don't think this is part of some temporary film set. These look like materials for making a movie set. They've been sitting here for quite some time. This might as well be a junkyard. Let's slide on over. Looks like 2 people ate here. There's nothing left on the plates. Hey, so they ate T-bone steaks too. What is it with steaks around here? Hey, there's always room for steak, but something does seem out of place. What? I don't know, it just feels odd. Well, the fact that they had steaks and they didn't leave any bones behind? Incinerator, apparently they just put this one in. It's already covered in soot. They must not clean it much. A light van for moving staff and equipment around. They've kept it in pretty good shape. Looks like it ran fine. Well, let's go for a drive. Sure, if I had a license. Nick, you don't have a driver's license? But look, I have this. Why are you showing me your attorney's badge, Nick? To show you I'm important, dang it. Okay, we're gonna move back to the main gate. Security guard station. I can see the computer that runs the security cameras. Oh, please don't touch anything in there. The security lady would knock the stuffing out of me if she knew. I really want the key to that trailer. Maybe next time.